What makes Mr. Hillhouse a great principal?
Mr. Hillhouse is a great principal because he's nice. He's a great boss and he does all the goods. I like Mr. Hillhouse as a principal because he never yells at any kids and he's really nice. And when we go to his office and we're in trouble, he never yells at you and does send you anywhere. That's it. Mr. Hillhouse is very friendly and he likes having good discussions with people, and I've never heard him yell in my lifetime. He's very nice and he's a great principal. I'm really happy that he's at our school.
Hi Dave, I just wanted to thank you for all the work you do in our school and the person that you are. You're always so calm and measured, and I just wanted to give you a massive thank you for everything that you do for us. Really appreciate it.
The principal is very nice, and he when people feel sad, he helps them up when they feel not good, and when he feels sad, they make him happy, and he's really nice because he always helps teachers teach kids, and then when we teach each other, we found it.
Mr. Hillhouse is a great principal because he helps any teacher or any student that gets in his way, that isn't that confident about being in the school, and he will help anyone who's new. And great principals are great because they will make other people confident about this school, and more people come here. That means more friends.
When somebody's upset, he makes them feel better.
Okay. Hey Dave, you must be a great boss because I've followed you to 2 schools. You're supportive, you listen, all round great boss. Wonderful to be here, wonderful to have you here.
Because he helps everyone, and he doesn't let people get naughty. And Mr. Hillhouse is a great principal because he comes and get naughty boys when they're being naughty. The Hillhouse is a great principal because he comes and helps us when kids are naughty.
Mr. Hillhouse is a great boss, very approachable, very personable, and he's just such a great leader for this school and all the staff. Parents, kids, everybody thinks he's a great boss. Well done. Thank you, Mr. Hillhouse.
Mr. Hillhouse is a great principal because he looks after all the kids and always do his best job.
Mr. Hillhouse is a great principal because he's kind, caring and always approachable.
Mr. Hillhouse is a great principal because he makes awesome rules and he's also nice.
Mr. Hillhouse is a great principal because he is very smart.
I think Mr. Hillhouse is a great principal because he's nice and takes care after people. He's nice and kind.
I like that he's really approachable and he really cares about his staff. it's wonderful to have somebody that you can feel comfortable going to speak to whenever there's a personal or professional issue that comes up.
I think Mr. Hillhouse is a great principal because he's super nice and kind to all of us, and he makes sure that we're treated equally together, and he is just nice in general.
Mr. Hillhouse is a great principal because he made all these rules to make children safe, like no running on concrete, and you must wear your hat on the oval.
Mr. Hillhouse is a fantastic principal. He's very approachable, he's a very kind person. He provides great strategic leadership for our school, keeps people in the loop, and we find that he sets a nice tone here at Sandy Strait. So keep up the good work, Mr. Hillhouse. Thank you.
What makes Mr. Hillhouse a nice principal is that he does things for charity and kids that need things, and he helps people when they don't feel safe around some people, and he makes really funny things in assembly.
I think Mr. Hillhouse makes a good principal because he makes all these wonderful rules so no one hurts himself, and he keeps the school nice and clean and helps everyone with their work and makes sure they get all the help they need. And he is a very wonderful principal.
Hi Dave, thanks for being a really great principal, understanding, down to earth, and really care about what's going on here at school. So thanks and happy Principal's Day.
Mr. Hillhouse is a great principal because he takes care of the environment and he is nice to people during a speech.
He's just really great because he's just got this calm, wise, reassuring presence about him. And he just always seems to have time for everyone, no matter what they need for.
Hold on. Because he is the most best principal I've ever met, and he helps people when in need. And he always helps people when they struggled with work and bullying and all the stuff what happens. So I love you. I love you, Principal.
I love that your door's always open and you're so approachable.
Dave's a great principal because the school has a great feel, and I love the high wave habit.
That he doesn't get, he's nice and doesn't get, like, he doesn't yell a lot and stuff.
Since Mr. Hillhouse has come to our school, he has made it a great environment, and I really want to come to work every day.
I think Mr. Hillhouse is a good principal because he doesn't yell a lot and he's much nicer than our old one.
Mr. Hillhouse is a great principal because he's very caring, he's very personable, and he just demonstrates authority but also with compassion.
Mr. Hillhouse is a good guy. He came to the school, he put a new spark into the school which it needed greatly. He's very approachable, and he used to be a PE teacher, so yeah, that makes him a good guy as well. He goes well, so yeah, nice guy. Thanks.
He's nice, caring, cares for all the students. He's a great guy all around.
Mr. Hillhouse is a great principal because you know that his door is always open. He always listens, he always takes in everybody's points of view and always makes a great decision. We know that he cares about everybody no matter what's going on in your life. So it's been great having Mr. Hillhouse as our principal.
He's very nice and he's always caring for the students.
Mr. Hillhouse is a great principal because he's kind and helpful to all the students at Sandy Strait State School.
What makes Mr. Hillhouse a fantastic principal is that he's very kind and patient and tolerant.
Mr. Hillhouse is a great principal because
He's the star of the school and he's very thoughtful to other students in the same street.
Okay, what makes Mr. Hillhouse a great principal? First and foremost, he gets my humour. Took a little while, but he does get it now. Also, I love the fact that he says thank you. That's the main thing. A little thank you goes a long way, and I thank you, Dave, for being a great principal.
Personally, I think Mr. Hillhouse is one of the best teachers I've ever had. He's really good at keeping the school stable and out of trouble.
Mr. Hillhouse is a great principal because he is kind and he encourages students to try their best and keep going in school.
Mr. Hillhouse is a great principal for always encouraging his staff and supporting us when we need it. Thank you.
Well, what makes Mr. Hillhouse a good principal or great principal? Where do we start? Of course, he's a very empathetic, caring person, has a great deal of time for everyone at our school, is never asked anyone to do anything that he's not prepared to do himself. We're very fortunate to have Mr. Hillhouse as our principal and look forward to working with him for a few more years just yet.
Mr. Hillhouse is a nice, loving, caring principal and is probably the best principal we've ever had in the school.
What makes Mr. Hillhouse a great principal is that he's so friendly, very approachable, and he's just a great person to work with.
Mr. Hillhouse is a really good principal. He's really nice and he's probably the best principal I've ever had, ever, in the school.
He's always so easy to get along with. He's just a great guy all round. Happy to work with him every day, and he's like the calm in the storm.
One word barometer for Mr. Hillhouse.
Reliable, understanding, approachable, compassionate.
Because he is the best, and if this duel wasn't run by Mr. Hillhouse, I would have met my best friends. So thank you, Mr. Hillhouse.
3. Mr. Hillhouse is a great principal.